I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig, and Callie and I are in an amazing location today. We've actually got Lake Superior behind us. We're on the north shore of Lake Superior, heading north right now on the road, taking a nice scenic trip. If you guys have never been out here, it's really pretty. Definitely recommend it. With us, we have the Yeti Hopper 30 cooler. This has been a great cooler for us. We've had it on a lot of different adventures. We've taken it to Moab, taken it on the SUPs out there. We're gonna take it up to the Boundary Waters, canoeing. We're taking it on simple road trips like we're taking now, just throw it in the back of the pickup. Every time we've taken it, it's always performed really well. The Hopper 30 has a 6.5 gallon capacity. It'll hold your manliest of subs or your 24 pack of beer with the ratio of 2:1 with ice. If you're not gonna use a ratio like that, you can fit even more stuff in it. One thing I did right when I got it, I wanted to see kind of how well it would do at keeping my ice cold and keeping my ice longer. So I took this cooler along with a soft-sided cooler that we have, put them both in the backyard in Colorado and let them sit with 10 pounds of ice in them. Now this is not a very scientific experiment. I didn't have any food in the cooler. I did put the coolers in the same temperature zone in the garage overnight, so when I started the next morning, at least the insides were the same temperature. And we just left them in the sun and outside day and night. After 3 days, what I found is that the soft-sided cooler, all the ice had actually melted in it. In the Yeti, I still had probably about 3 pounds of ice left out of a 10-pound bag. That 3 pounds still lasted for an extra 2 days. So for 2 days longer, I had ice in this Yeti than I had in the soft-sided cooler. Again, it's not a super scientific experiment. I didn't have any food in it, which is really gonna alter your findings if you try to do something like that. But generally speaking, it's definitely gonna hold your ice longer. One thing I love about this is how indestructible it is. On the exterior, it's almost built like a raft. You've got welded seams on the bottom. You have this nice EVA structure. This thing's gonna give you years and years of use, I think. I don't have any kind of qualms about throwing it on the beach, in the rocks, tipping in a raft and having it go through the Class 5 rapids, getting buried, trundled in the chunder. Anything like that is definitely gonna hold up. Now, if it's holding that 6.5 gallons, it's gonna hold a lot of weight. The handles are all reinforced, double stitched. You're never gonna have a handle rip out on you. Also, with the shoulder strap that they provide, it's nice and ergonomic. If you're gonna find yourself having to carry it a lot, like Callie and I are gonna be in the Boundary Waters and doing a lot of portages, this is super nice to just throw on your shoulder and walk away. No matter how heavy the cooler is, it's still really comfortable to carry. Now also on the side, you can see that they have this nice webbing along with big plastic rings on the bottom. Gives you a lot of options, and you have that both on the front and on the back. Also, one thing I really found handy, these handles on the sides, both ends. It's really easy to lift it out of the pickup with those handles. I find that if I'm trying to lift it with this handle, I've got to lift it that much further above my head, where with these, you can just pick it right up, super simple. Now, this zipper that's on the top is a work of art. This is a zipper that you're gonna find kind of like on a dry suit, on a kayaker or something like that. It's very high quality, it's welded in, and it's leak proof. Right now we've got a lot of water. You can see the water coming out of there. We've got a lot of water in this cooler. It's been going for a few days with ice. It's allowed it to melt, yet I'm not getting any kind of leaking anywhere on this cooler. It's staying absolutely dry, which is really great. When you first receive the cooler, this zipper and this whole top structure is pretty stiff, and it's one thing that they talk about in the owner's manual. Callie really had a hard time with it because it takes 2 people to hold it open and go through the cooler. But now, as you can see, we've gotten a lot of use out of it. It's really broken in. It's like a pair of Carhartts, basically. But now, when I pull it open, it'll stay in that position. I can go through the cooler. Also, on the inside of this cooler, it has this really nice antimicrobial food grade interior. So you're not gonna have to worry about anything growing on the inside of your cooler if you should happen to leave it wet for weeks on end. I like that we have some MOLLE accessories, and you can actually attach, depending on the size of the accessory, you could attach MOLLE accessories to this webbing also, which is great. We've got some water containers. We can just throw them on there. It really becomes an all-in-one system. Again, this is an extremely tough cooler made by Yeti. It's the Hopper 30. They do come in a few different sizes if you think you want to go bigger or smaller. But if you're finding that you're doing multiple day trips and you really need that ice to stay cold longer, the inch insulation on the sides, the 1.5 inches on the bottom is going to get you to that point. If you guys have any questions about this cooler, be sure to leave them below and we'll get back to you. If you like the videos, make sure to subscribe and like. I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig.